Good evening, PVFL. This is your host, John Gillespie, for your weekly podcast, Commissioner's Corner, the KAEP Playoff Edition. Today, guys, we can look forward to on the KAEP to look back at the divisional rounds and the matchups that were at hand, and then look ahead to championship weekend. Without further ado, I'd like to give a shout out to our producer, Pete Serpa, for always making this podcast possible. And as always, friends, I got one promise to you, is to make you a much smarter fantasy player, yet a much dumber person. All right, guys, without further ado, we're going to our game of the week. The Clash of the Titans, the NFC weight battle. Much anticipated. It did not disappoint. Guys, this was the highest scoring playoff game in PVFL history. So let's go right to it. Congratulations to Juan Guzman Orange Crush, making it a clean sweep of Belichick Yourself this season, 3-0, with an astounding victory, 184.9 to 162.9 for Belichick Yourself. Congratulations again, Juan. Your top performer was no surprise. He's been your stud all year. Is Todd Gurley. 152 yards and 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 2 and 1 receiving, to the tune of 45. Let me repeat that: 45 fantasy points. Some other honorable mentions for Orange Crush: Mark Ingram, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a plethora of catches. #analysis. For 32.1 points. And also Cam Newton, 242 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a number of rushing yards. #analysis in the tune of 31.5 fantasy points. Those are his honorable mentions. And for Belichick Yourself, your top performer was Rob Gronkowski. Gronk, as you guys know him as. 9 catches and 168 yards, to the tune of 27.8 fantasy points. And some other honorable mentions: Le'Veon Bell, 117 yards and a touchdown, and a plethora of catches. #analysis for 27.5 fantasy points. And also Shady McCoy, 50 rushing yards, 2 total touchdowns, and a plethora of catches. You guys already know. #analysis for the tune of 25.6 fantasy points. With the victory, Orange Crush advances to the finals, the title game, the PVFL Super Bowl, and Belichick Yourself is left wondering and shocked about what happened. No worries, Juan. He will be back next year. Moving on to the other game on the tally, the other divisional game. What's Cookin' versus Secret Squirrel? Guys, the improbable has happened. A 5-8 team who clinched a playoff berth on week 13 has advanced to the finals, to the title game. Let's give a shout out to Anna Gillespie, Secret Squirrel. What an amazing run you have been on. Truly, truly outstanding. What a Cinderella story this is. You advanced past Austin Bennett, 119.9 versus 69.1, and your top performer was Melvin Gordon, 78 yards and a touchdown, to the tune of 28.9 fantasy points. Of course, a plethora of catches. #analysis. And another honorable mention is Michael Thomas, 9 catches, 93 yards and a touchdown, to the tune of 24.3 fantasy points. And for you, Austin, your top performer was Blake Bortles. Good call there, starting Bortles. You know, he tried to Bortle his way to victory for you, but it didn't quite work out. 326 yards and 3 touchdowns in the tune of 25 fantasy points. And your other honorable mention is really nobody else, because nobody else showed up. I know Antonio Brown got hurt, so that wasn't his fault, but everyone else was kind of really average to mediocre, and that is that. Guys, some other honorable mentions. The Chief earned the, I think, fifth pick in the draft. Congratulations with a victory over Peter. I love TDs. And the Thirsty King has earned himself the top pick in next year's draft with a 118.8 victory over the Killer Bealers. So that means Ethan is the number 1 pick. Nick, you're the number 2 pick. Ethan Lopez is the number 3 pick. Ivan Rodriguez is the number 3 pick. Ethan is the number 4 pick. Then you got Pedro, number 5. Pete, number 6. And then myself and Austin will battle for 7 and 8. And then, of course, Anna and Juan will battle, not only for the title, but for the 9th and 10th picks, respectively. Alright, guys. So, as we mentioned, the title game at hand is Secret Squirrel versus Juan Guzman. What a stunning turn of events here, guys. Like as I said, nobody saw this coming. Of course, Anna is a substantial underdog in this game. Juan is, the heavy favorite. So this truly is a David versus Goliath matchup. Can Secret Squirrel pull off the improbable and cap off her amazing Cinderella story by taking out the juggernaut himself, Juan Guzman? We will see. Or can Juan, finish off the most successful season in PVFL history with the most wins and cap it off with a title and truly make it the most dominating season in our short history as far as most wins? Because with including the playoffs, he would have 13 wins and 2 losses. That's the greatest. That's the best record by far. Can that happen, guys? Who knows? We will see. But that's all I have for you guys. It's a shorter edition of the Cap. Not as much to discuss. This is your host, John Gillespie. As always, signing off. Till next time, go Packers.